I'm Miss Rochelle. Welcome to the Hewitt Public Library virtual baby time. Baby time is for birth to 1 year old. Welcome. Today's focus, we're wrapping up the social emotional learning. It will be a part of what we do for the rest of the year because it's so important, but we won't be directly focusing just on social emotional learning. So a couple things we've talked about. One, the first week was just on emotions, and the second week was joint attention. And just as a reminder, joint attention is when you and your baby are experiencing something together. So a way to know that your baby has developed joint attention is when one of you points at an object, the other one can point at the same object, and you can look at each other and giggle or share an emotion or a conversation about the object you're looking at. And so what I wanted to do this week, I went to the Texas Education Agency website, and I pulled up the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills for pre-kindergarten and kindergarten. And so for those of you not in education, Texas categorizes the skills that should be taught to students by grade level. And they do this so that regardless of where you are in the state of Texas, if your child is in kindergarten, you can be reasonably assured that if they were in pre-kindergarten, they were all exposed to the same skills and so forth all the way through their senior year of high school. And this just makes for a smoother academic career for your child as long as they're in Texas. So if you're from another state or you move to another state, your state will probably cover the same skills, but they may not be categorized by the same grade level in the same order. So a couple things that I noticed that we have covered and that are pre-kindergarten outcomes. Those are the only ones I'm looking at for baby time. And two that grabbed my attention, one was in vocabulary development, and it specifically states that the pre-kindergarten outcome for a child would be to be able to describe their own feelings. And so the things that we're talking about with emotions and describing emotions to your baby and showing them the emotions and so forth are very important, and you are developing not only that bonding time, but early literacy skills starting now with your baby. And another one that caught my attention that was specifically stated as a pre-kindergarten outcome is that they can remember finger plays. And we do finger plays each week. And so I just thought that would encourage you that you are tuning into baby time and listening to these videos and doing the activities with your baby. And so you are not only developing that joint attention that we talked about, but you are also developing early literacy skills for your child. So some of the activities that we have talked about and that we'll go over again, some of these are new. Just being very animated when you are showing emotions to your baby, smiling, I'm happy, I'm sad. I do know that with some babies, they get upset if their parent shows them a sad face, so I'm not encouraging that. But to the level that they're able to receive that information, you can show them the emotions, talk about them, and be very exaggerated with your facial expressions and your body language. You can also use soft stuffed animals. So when you're reading to a baby, you don't necessarily have to read it page by page or read the entire book. As you know, their attention spans do not always last long enough for you to do that. And so one fun thing you can do is read a page to your baby that is showing a character in a particular situation or with a certain emotion, and then get the stuffed animal and just kind of act it out with your child and just have fun with it. And this is developing those vocabulary skills and that connection to the book with your baby's experiences with you, and those are very important. Another thing that you can do is blowing bubbles And so that's a fun thing to do. Blow bubbles with your child, pointing to the bubbles, and then looking at your child, taking their finger and pointing, and soon enough they'll be pointing on their own. You can find all of this information and more on the flyer that is posted on Facebook for baby time, and so that's an easy reference for you, or if you want to print it out, you could do that as well. I also send out a weekly email, and so if you would like the flyer directly emailed to you, if you will let us know, you can call the library and give them your library card information or your email address, and I will add you to the email list. So this week, the books that I'm introducing, I have 5, and what they have in common is that they are all nursery rhymes, and I just felt very excited to share these because I think they're excellent resources for you. And when I saw that finger plays was directly mentioned in those pre-kindergarten outcomes, it really encouraged me to share these with you because they're repetitive, they're easy for your child to learn. You can check out the book, and then it's easy for you to remember and start doing those nursery rhymes with your child. And you can make up your own finger plays if you don't already know one that goes with it. So on the end, we have Pat a Cake, and we're actually doing that one today. We have Humpty Dumpty and other rhymes. We have Best Ever rhymes, Hickory Dickory Dock, and Mary Englebright's nursery rhymes. And so the book, for example, Pat a Cake, it's just the one rhyme. The same thing with, well, Humpty Dumpty, it has Humpty Dumpty, but it does have a few other rhymes as well. And these 2 books, Best Ever Rhymes and Mary Englebright's, is full of nursery rhymes. And so you can use those books as resources and have fun with your child reading them, but they're easy to remember to continue doing with your child after you've turned those back into the library. So today we're going to do a tactile rhyme, which just means there's a lot of touch. Your baby responds to the sense of touch strongly, and so I highly encourage it. It's called 10 Little Fingers, 10 Little Toes, 2 little ears and 1 little nose, 2 little eyes that shine so bright, and 1 little mouth to kiss me goodnight. And so you just touch your baby's body parts. So 10 little fingers, 10 little toes, 2 little ears and 1 little nose, 2 little eyes that shine so bright, and 1 little mouth to kiss me goodnight. And then you can give your child a little hug or a tickle, pick them up, hold them close, whatever works for you in that moment. And then the next one is Pat a Cake, and this is an old one. And this was around when I was a child. I can remember doing it, so I thought I would bring it back. But it's very simple, and you can grab your child's hands and do the motions with your child, or you can just show them to your child, whatever works. So pat a cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with a B, and put it in the oven for a baby and me. And I know there are different versions of that, and I can remember doing different versions as a child. So if you already know another one, that works too. And that wraps it up for today's baby time. I just encourage you to show those different facial expressions to your baby. Have fun, look in the mirror, and talk about those emotions. Name them as your baby is experiencing them. And not only are you teaching them and helping them develop with the social emotional learning skills, but also with their early literacy skills, and that's exciting. So see you next time. Thank you.